Hello, Kaiju enthusiasts, and welcome back to Kaiju Noir. You know, I'm not a member of Monster Lovers Anonymous, if you know what I mean, but reading this VN, I can kind of see it. I will not follow you out on that voyage out to sea, but I will happily wave at you from the dock. I'm not sure if that metaphor makes sense. We're just gonna move on. No. Get out of my bar. Come on, Rax. You know I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't urgent. They're bleeding out. I can see that. They're bleeding out all over my nice, clean floor. You know how I feel about my floor, Alex. Sorry. I'll try to bleed less. You owe me, Rax. This place is on the way to the office. I need to patch them up before they collapse in the street. I didn't even know I had this much blood in me. Shut up, Cari. Please, Rax. Fine, but if any trouble follows you in, you'll need to find a new drinking hole. I like trouble as much as I like kaiju messing up my floor. Deal. Thank you. Rax lifts up the counter slab and gestures you both behind the bar. Go through the back. There's a room you can use. Should be some bandages or something in there to patch that wound till it clots. And try not to make too much of a mess. I sleep back there, you know? Got anything to eat back there? I could really go for a snack. I said shut up. Thanks, Rax. In the back room, you collapse on the flagstones. Alex rummages through a cabinet. Are they going to come after us, Cari? Do you want me to be honest? Right here? Right now? Yes, I want you to be fucking honest. Then yes, she's going to come after us. She thought I was only worth a couple of cheap thugs, an inconvenience. When she finds out that didn't work, she's going to get serious. He comes over and carefully removes what's left of your coat, wiping the blood off your face, and tosses it aside. One of your prop smokes falls out. It might not be real, but the practiced rhythm of channeling smoke through it provides some small comfort. How do you figure that? Because I'm here with you and not at the bottom of the lake. She wouldn't have been expecting that. If she thought I was capable of causing actual trouble, I'd never have left her penthouse. Now, who knows? You look at the sodden mass on the floor. Look at my poor coat. I really fucking loved that coat. Forget about the coat. The coat is not important right now. We'll get you a new one. You hiss through your tusks as he wipes the area down with something that burns like ice. So what do we do now? Now we go out there and have a drink with Rax, act like everything is okay. And then after that I'm going back to the office to hibernate for a few centuries. Alex wraps some heavy bandages over your shoulder and starts to wipe the worst of the goon off himself. You can already feel the flesh kneading back together, but the cut went deep. It'll take some time to close over completely. Best I can do. It doesn't look poisoned or anything. You should heal up by morning. Let's get back out before Rax comes looking for us. I should grab my coat. What's left of it anyway. Is it weird that I'm beginning to like Rax? Nah, he's a good kaiju. Just don't get on his bad side. Or, mess up his floor. The pair of you shuffle back into the main room and sit down heavily at the bar. Cari looks weirdly naked without their coat. Everything okay back there? No offense, but you look like shit, Cari. I feel like shit. In fact, I don't think I've ever felt so much like shit in my life. Must be something I ate. Can we get a drink? For some reason, I need to wash the taste of blood out of my mouth. Sure, what'll it be? Give me a monster mash. Alex will have a savage stomp. You sure? Could give you something stronger to deal with the pain. Booze and blood loss don't mix. You should know that by now, Rax. Yeah, fair enough. Here you go. He spares a couple of cans and drops them neatly in front of you. Your arms still feel weak, but you can manage lifting the can. Thanks, Rax. Hey, about Lore. I heard. Fucking shame, going out like that. I'm sorry. It shouldn't have happened that way. Don't sweat it, kid. This isn't the first time I lost a customer. Won't be the last. When did you hear? We only found out earlier tonight. Detective Carla Zora paid me a visit. Everyone knew Lore drank here. those who gave a damn. Hope she didn't grill you too bad. Nah, usual cop kaiju shit. Asked a bunch of questions about you, though, in a way that might make some kaiju extremely nervous. Not that I had much to tell. You raise your can, wincing at the pain in your shoulder. Sounds like Carla. She and I go way back. We may have had an encounter with the kaiju that offed lore this evening. Which is how we ended up here, instead of in the lake. Judging by the mess, I'm guessing those goons won't be interfering with my customers anymore. Not unless they end up in the same afterlife. Glad to hear it. Now hurry up and finish your drinks. I want you out of my damn bar before the cops turn up again. They make my fists itch. Thanks, Rex. I think this squares us. I doubt it, Alex. I still owe you pretty big. Should I ask? No. No. Fine. Alex, you can stay here if you want. I'm going to slump back to the office and crash on the couch. Don't think I can make it all the way back to my den like this. If you're sure, I can help you back if you need me. I'm sure. Rex, put Alex on my tab. I'll see you both later. Sweet dreams, Slick. Hey, Stainra, you seen anyone follow us in? The figure shakes their head, tail slowly weaving around them. Good. Keep your eyes out for trouble tonight. We've left a bit of a trail this way, and who knows what might follow it on a night like this. They glare at the sticky puddles of ichor and nod. Ichor? One of those. Oh, and make sure Alex gets home safe, okay? Think those two are going to be up late, catching up on old times. You adjust the bandages crossing your body and tip your hat. It's going to be a long fucking night for all of us. The walk back to your office is slow and painful, each plodding step rocking your injured back, keeping you this side of consciousness. From within your chest, you feel a familiar tightness you've come to dread, far more insidious than the grip of fear from the assault. You just need to make it inside. Then you can let it out. One claw in front of the other. It seems to take an eternity. Back in the office, you dump your shredded coat on the floor and collapse on the crude stone couch. In the low light streaming through the office's grimy windows, the room looks cold, desolate. It feels weird without Alex here. I'm lucky to have that smug-ass boy in my life. I'd be dead a dozen times over without him. You let out a long, slow breath, trying to exhale some of the pain with it. What the hell am I doing? I'm going to get myself killed. The chill of the room makes your injured shoulder burn like an inferno. As hard as you tried to hold it off, you feel the shock of the attack swinging back to hit you. You've held it in long enough. Fuck. Breathe. Just keep breathing, Karibara. Smoke pours from your mouth in waves as you try to keep your heartbeats under control. The fake cigarette long forgotten on the floor. Alright, let's get this over with. You repeat the mantra Alex taught to you long ago. Let it come, let it go. It doesn't help much, but it keeps you grounded just enough that the panic doesn't overtake you. You wish Alex was here, but you don't want him to see you like this. Not again. Let it come, let it go. The cases will still be there tomorrow. Let it come, let it go. I should have asked Rax more about the pendant. Tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. In time, your hearts slow their frantic beats, and the fire in your belly settles to a low smolder. A hand sets a cup of water by your side. You look up at the dimly lit silhouette leaning over you. You'll get through this, Cari. I'm not going anywhere. Now get some sleep. And if you do something like this again, I'll kill you myself. You're a real sweetheart, Alex. Sweet dreams, you big lug. You close your eyes and feel oblivion welcome you back. Let it come. Let it go. The light of the city's early evening illuminates the office when you wake up. Judging by the shadows, you've been asleep at least a dozen hours. Damn, it's impressive. Alex is at his desk, hunched over a stone tablet, his claws gently tapping the armrest of his industrial chair as the narrator mutes their microphone to take a drink. Hydrated, the narrator continues. You're too damn good to me. The pain in your shoulder has settled into a low throb. The flesh feels stitched, but raw. In this moment of peace, you take the time to think about a list of things that you're going to go down in order. 2 cases, linked by an unlikely thread of coincidence. Onikogo is not likely to be impressed by her flunkies meeting the messy end of Alex's temper. No doubt she'll have a dozen ready to take their place. Bigger ones that may not go down so easy. It's not exactly reassuring. Then you've got poor damn Rax and his missing sister. Alex said he had a lead there. Paul's crossed to go somewhere. And to think, a week ago everything seemed too quiet. If it weren't for Alex, you would have suffered the same fate as Lore in that alleyway. One slip-up, then the fall. A watery grave in a cold case. No one deserves to go out like that. Was he poking around Onikogo at Xander's instruction too? Did he find something out? Does life mean that little to her? I'll get her for you, Lore. I'll try to, anyway. That poor kid, scared out of her hide, afraid for her life. All on account of some old kaiju's quest for a shiny stone. She may be untrustworthy, but she doesn't deserve to live in fear. Then there's the other thing. We'll sort it out, I promise. Did you want a cup of tea? Or are you just going to sleep all night? Alex is still focusing on the tablet. From your position, it's impossible to tell if it's case files or just the night's crossword puzzle. A tea would be nice. Extra strong if you can. I feel like I've gone 3 rounds in the Kaiju Wrestling League. Can do, if you can give me an 11-letter word for defeated in expectation. Sure can. That looks right, thanks. I'll get your tea. You sit up, gently remove the blood-crusted bandages and roll your shoulder. The fresh muscle is still tense, accompanied by the ache of bad memories. We should talk about last night. He places the steaming cup on the desk and prods at your back. We should. The cut looks alright, healing nicely, but you're going to have an impressive scar. Glad it's faster than all those giant monster healing scenes you see in the movies. I don't have time to go lay in a volcano for a week for my back to heal. Sounds like a nice holiday though, doesn't it? Picking up your shredded coat, you shrug it on as best you can. How do I look? Like shit. But without the coat, you look wrong, so it'll have to do till we can get you a new coat made up. Did you mean what you said last night? That Onikogo will be coming after you? I stuck my muzzle where I shouldn't have. She didn't like that. But I also didn't have anything stone solid on the idol. I don't know if that means she's going to wait for my next move or send in the heavy scales to finish the job tonight. Those thugs were her way of trying to swat a pesky bug before I got too close. You're lucky you don't splat so easy then. I'm lucky I had you watching my arse. On that note, how often do you follow me like that? Only on cases when I think you're going to get into trouble you can't get out of. So... about a third of the time. What can I say? I'm a good friend. Why, are you angry? I'm just shocked I haven't noticed before now. For a kaiju, you're sneaky. He raises his mug in the air, the scales of his arm changing color until they match the hue of the stonework. I always forget you can do that. You're like one of those cuttlefish things. And that's why you're still alive. What are we going to do about the rock? We can't go at this alone. There's too much at stake here. Sure as hell I don't trust Maxera to show up and do the right thing. From where I'm standing, we have two options. Let me try that again. We either convince Xander that if they want the idol, they need to be more involved. Or I get down on my knees and beg Carla for help. I always figured you two had been into that kind of thing. I'm not admitting to anything. She's the only other kaiju I know with connections who might be able to trace the Crimson Old One, and who I trust to keep her mouth shut about it. So which is it? The twisted old treasure hunter or the crooked cop? Fuck the police! We need to talk to Xander. They've known Onikogo for a long time now. If anyone has the dirt on her we need, it's them. And so far, they're the only kaiju I've spoken to this week who hasn't threatened me in any way. That practically makes us best friends. So the plan is to pit the rich against each other and sneak off with the idol while they're tearing out each other's throats? Can you think of a better outcome? It's a lot easier to eat the rich when they're worn out from fighting one another. Are we suddenly in the class warfare business? Maybe in the sequel. Looks directly at the camera. What? What? Nothing. Think I need to get my hearing checked. Either way, we need a plan, and we aren't going to make that happen sitting on our tails. Xander's had centuries of dealing with Onikogo and her kind. We need to know anything that could help. Fine. Just try not to get hurt along the way. I'll do my best. When you arrive at Xander's mansion, they eagerly usher you inside, which is a welcome change from all the doors slamming in your face. Detective, this is quite a surprise. I'd offer to take your coat, but I'm afraid it would fall apart in my claws. I take it from the state of your attire that you spoke to Onikogo and her associates? You ease yourself onto a chair by the fire. I did. Thank you again for the introduction. It was a life-altering experience, to say the least. Not to mention the frickin' dogs barking outside my window. Ugh! Almost terminally so. I did warn you that she wasn't the type to be trifled with. I am, however, pleased to see you return in more or less one piece. You did indeed. Thankfully, my assistant was able to negotiate a satisfactory solution to the encounter. Is everyone alright? Onikogo's hired muscle isn't. Last I saw, they're spread across an alleyway in the Burroughs district. Oh, and my tailor is going to have a few choice expletives for me. Amusingly gruesome. However, you are safe, and for that we should be grateful. In all probability, Lore's death has been avenged, albeit unintentionally. That is some comfort. I am grateful, Detective. It would have left me with a bad feeling were it otherwise. And on the subject of the item we previously discussed, did you manage to acquire it? Not quite yet, but I am convinced she has it. Oh, she won't say that much out loud, but her body language told me everything I needed to know. Especially the bit when she sent 2 goons after me to prevent me investigating further. Some might consider that a subtle hint. So now we have a bit of a conundrum here, Xander. One I hope you will have some insight on. They pick up a poker and one tentacle and jab at the fire. How do we retrieve the idol from Onikogo's clutches? Not an easy feat. With luck, we can sneak into where it's being kept and grab it before she notices. She already thinks she offed me. Now's the perfect time. But first we need to know where it is. And you are assuming I would know? I assume you have some damn clue. You've known her since you were young. For all your facade of being one of the rich and powerful, you've never truly been one, have you, Xander? Whatever do you mean? I mean, Onikogo hates you. She speaks politely of you, of course, in her own way, but in her cold heart, you're still the trash she pulled from the gutter. Just like me. Just like Lore, who died by her order. You were born in the dark, and you fought for the light. But it's not what you expected, was it? Xander glares at you, the metal poker slowly bending in their tightening grip. Mind your tongue, Detective. It waggles too freely. Am I wrong? If you went up to the behemoth's arms right now, would she welcome you as one of her own? Would she sit you down in that treasure room of hers, offer you a drink, and speak fondly of old times? Or would she leave you out in the cold, forgotten, ignored? Would she even waste her spit on you? For a moment, you wonder if you might have pushed too hard. At this distance, Xander could have you torn open in a heartbeat. There may be truth in what you say. A sliver of it, but truth all the same. She stole this from you, Xander. The Crimson Old One. This one thing you've been searching for all your life. And she's taken it without even trying. Because she can. You gesture to the room around you. This room is not a hoard. You've got some nice stuff here, but you don't sit upon a pile of treasure. That isn't who you are. In the dark, you were born, and in the dark you belong, no matter how much gold you have to catch the light. She knows that. She took the one thing you really wanted in this filthy world, for no other reason than you wanted it. They sigh and drop the twisted poker into the grate, collapsing into another chair and staring into the flames. I stand by my belief you'd have made a good writer. You're lost to the literary world. So what do you suppose I do, detective? Onikogo has power far beyond what I possess. Politicians, police, barking dogs, even the thugs on the street. She has them all in her claws. But you have information on her, don't you, Xander? You've known her for so long. Her dirty secrets, her hiding places, the things she'd rather not be made public. Xander trails a tentacle through their talons, stroking it without seeming to notice. A few things, detective. A few. Even one or two if she knew I knew, she'd have me taken down without hesitation. So tell me, Xander. Let me get her back for you. Let me get this idol. For us. Just for once, you can have the thing she wants. What do you want to know? If you were Onikogo, where would you hide the idol so only you could get to it? I'll let you ponder that question as we leave off for today. I will see you all next time for more giant monster detective story. See you then, and thanks for watching. I should have clarified that. Anyway, bye.